we're already at tears. I'm so sorry. So moving forward many years in time, Marlee, you were asked who should direct a documentary about you, and your answer was Shoshannah, I've read. And I would love for you to tell us about why that was the idea that came to mind.
So when I met with American Masters, the folks at PBS, over lunch one day with my team and the producers of the show or PBS.
It's, it can be a show, or it can be all the way to a 90-minute. It can be a single episode up to a 90-minute film. So I don't think there's an exact meaning to how many minutes long an American Masters piece is.
Okay, so they asked me if I would be interested in being the subject of a show. And I said, okay. And my first thought was really, how good would it be? Because it has to be done perfectly. Because of who I am. Do you want to know about me? You want to know about my quote-unquote secrets? You want to know about my experiences in life, in the entertainment business? It has to be done by somebody who gets me. So I said, well, on one condition, it has to be directed by a deaf woman. And he said, oh, okay, well, we have a woman in mind. And I said, no, that's great, that's fine. But I would prefer a deaf woman. And they said, all right, who do you have in mind? And I said, Shoshannah Stern, just like that. She came to my mind immediately. They said, oh, okay, well, has she directed before? And I said, no. And I continued eating my salad, looking out them on the side of my eyes, and the rest is history.
So Shoshannah, when you get this opportunity, one of the things that's so striking about the documentary is that it is such a visual piece. And, can you reveal a little bit about what your approach was in terms of bringing that element to the documentary format as we know it?
Yeah. The amount of people that, they took a big risk on me. I had no documentary experience whatsoever, not an iota. I'd never directed anything before. I'd shadowed a director on Supernatural, and that's it. That's all I ever did. So yeah, it was different from Supernatural for sure. A little different.
Just a teeny bit.
There was something else that I had to bring to the table. Because I didn't know what it was, but when I started, the research for the project, I was watching documentaries. Now, I've always loved documentaries, but it didn't hit me until I was actually had the job that, oh my goodness, all documentaries ever made that we've ever seen, that have ever been out there, are hearing-based, sound-based, because they've been made by hearing people, for hearing people, about hearing people. So just the rhythm of it, depends on voiceover. And so you'd cut to archival footage, and you would hear the person's voice in a VO. So, but you have a bodiless voice. So you lose the person's voice. So you have to force a voice over on a person, but with Marlee, in this situation, she would have somebody else's voice. It wouldn't be her voice. So I started building my team, and I said, I know we have an exciting opportunity to really discover something here, to experiment, to see what it would look like if this was a visual-based documentary. We can do everything differently because there is no comparison. There's nothing out there to compare it to. And so that's exciting. And so anyway, it was like, okay, well, this is not the way we do documentaries. We just met you. And I said, no, forget that we just met. I will work with people who, are really cool. And let's find out together. Let's do this together as a team. And we figured it out with the team of mostly women. And
Yay, women,
right on.
women.
And it feels like women are used to having to fit themselves into a world that's not built for them. So, who, are made by others than women. And so my women team were amazing, We figured out sort of where on that spectrum we could land, where a visual voiceover would be in the split screen. So we got the timing right, we figured all of that out, and we shot with the captions in mind, making sure we had large frames. And it felt like for the audience to really be able to understand Marlee's story, they had to experience the world the way she does. It had to be an immersive experience for the audience and a sensory experience for them.
As if, what we call a deaf lens.
Mhm.
What we call a deaf lens.
I'm